Welcome back! I haven't updated this LP in a while because I got some new games which distracted me a bit. Amongst them Project Diva 2nd, which is overall fun. And I also started the Ace Attorney LP, which I finished the first game of today actually, so that I can finish this one off as well as the Angelroute, which I have just finished. I mean literally, I finished it 2 minutes ago, and just now I got the confirmation that the video has been uploaded and processed on YouTube. The actual game that distracted me for a long time and kept me busy was I finally got my hands on Lightning Returns. As you may remember, I mentioned that the post office had screwed up, and I had finally gotten my hands on the game as it had been in customs at the beginning of the year. And I just have to point out here, remember how I said in the intro video that Katarina being thrown in jail was not something we should be getting used to? I kind of forgot about this part. Mostly because, as I said in the previous video of this LP, or the one before that, I don't really like these parts of the game. Anyway, I finally got my hands on Lightning Returns, and it kept me busy. I finished it, and then I pretty much immediately started a New Game Plus. I have to say, the game is pretty good. It's similar like Final Fantasy X-2 with the idea of your of the ability of changing your controllable character's appearance via clothes, which was very neat in X-2. But the same problem with X-2 is pretty much the same I have with Lightning Returns. Some of the outfits look really neat, some of them look weird, and some of them I simply never use. In X-2, because the job class they were just wasn't all that interesting, or that great to use to begin with. In Lightning Returns, the problem is that some of the clothes look really weird, but that's the nice thing. I am capable to choose whatever I want to wear, and I also have the ability to not just customize some of the colors in it, but I can also choose what ability I want to have on the outfit, meaning that it's... oh right, I'm full. Meaning that it's better than X-2 actually, because I can actually choose whatever ability I want, so if I find an outfit I like very much, I can use it, and if there's an outfit I don't like, I am overall not forced to use it. I know some people will say that they looked at the clothes of Lightning Returns and they didn't like it because the clothes looked either silly or stupid or worse. But as I said, here nothing forces you to use the weird clothes. I personally have not used a single one of the more revealing types that I have up to now. For example, the Coral Mermaid. I haven't used that. Mostly because, yes, it is inspired by Shiva's outfit from Final Fantasy X, but I overall think it looks pretty stupid, and I decided to not use it. I use a different outfit. By the way, mailing, we can ask to join a party, or we can ask to learn wind magic from her. If you want a magic-based party, Mei Ling is a good wind mage. Back to Lightning Returns. Out of the... I didn't count them, but according to the trophies I have unlocked up to now, from my PS3 version, and yes, I have pre-ordered the localized 360 version because I want to see how they translated things. But according to the trophies, I have, at the very least, over 30 outfits up to now. Out of those, I have used 6 or 7 by now. One I have to wear for one scene in the game for a storyline quest, but it's not a skimpy one, it actually looks quite pretty. But the ones I've used are not very skimpy, they don't look overly silly, and I'm quite happy with that. For example, currently she's mostly walking around in a black butler sort of outfit. And I love it. I need to re-familiar myself with the controls in this game. Yes, our job here is to go to this cave where I am and find out why the Zelnums are appearing and why they are so aggressive. Aside from the outfits in Lightning Returns, I'm gonna start speaking slower now in case I get into a fight like I did with those two. Outfits aside, the game is fun. I personally have to say, Lightning Returns has finally managed to make me... well, it made me tolerate snow. In Final Fantasy XIII and XIII-2, I absolutely despised him. Also, this is the devil armor. We will obtain this armor. I absolutely despised him in XIII and XIII-2 because he was just so annoying. He was so in my face about, I'm a hero! Heroes don't need plans! Whenever he called himself a hero, I always wanted to remind him that, you know, in most stories about heroes, the hero tends to die at the end. Do that please for me? Yes. Unfortunately, he didn't. However, in Lightning Returns, he is broken. He is a broken man. So he is not in my face about heroism. And this fight right now is just like all the other ones. We have to kill the armor in the back, not the Zelnums. We can kill them, but it wouldn't be very helpful. But, as I said, he is broken in Lightning Returns. No, which one was it? Oh yes, the Kana one. He is broken, he doesn't call himself a hero, he doesn't say that he will protect everybody, and he doesn't shout Sarah all the time. Really, I actually did create a altered shot of Snow's face over that guy's face from A Streetcar Named Desire who yelled Stella. It works. I actually cared somewhat for Snow, which is a good feat. As I said before, in XIII-2, I found his appearance to be stupid, because it served no purpose at all. seriously, anybody who plays Final Fantasy XIII-2, open the Historia Crux and then take a look at episode 3.2, which is Snow's episode. It is from the Sunless Waterscape to AF 300 to the Colosseum, a slight detour to the Arcade Steps, and it goes nowhere. It literally goes nowhere. It's a pointless episode. He's there for a cameo, and sadly we cannot recruit Young Fun, at least not right now. He becomes available as a party member very late into the game, which is actually kind of bad. But as for Snow, stupid cameo in 13.2. Then again, I do not think that 13.2 was all that great to begin with. It made a lot of changes and mistakes, which I think just made the game rather disappointing. However, that game was only made because Final Fantasy XIV had come out a bit earlier, and it had resulted in causing Square Enix to lose money because it was rather nah. Oh yes, and we now can get ourselves away from the eastern areas again. But in order to do that, we have to be in this city, not in Mong Village, because we cannot do that there. Anyway, Final Fantasy XIV lost the money, so they had to quick create something that would bring some money in, which is why 13.2 was made. I have overall nothing against the game. I think it's just rather disappointing compared to 13, which I love because it's shown in... it was really shining in the character department, except for Snow, in the battle system, and the overall twist that I think the story had. Also, yes, everybody here is an elephant. In 13.2, Snow was worse. He was a protagonist. Overall, we could very well finish the game without him. The only time I actually liked him in 13 was during the 10th chapter, because he actually shut his mouth. Also, if we had Sarah or the young boy in our party, we could wake up this elephant and then recruit this elephant, who is a decent wind magician and has 36 or 32 LP. So he is quite a good character to take some damage. But overall, I will not get him. Back to Lightning Returns. The story in Lightning Returns is not very strong, but then really what kind of story could they build up after that thing that was Final Fantasy XIII-2? Oh, I forgot to talk to that guy. The story isn't strong, but I will say that the ending does wrap up the Final Fantasy XIII series very well. It gives it a nice ending. I have read that some people did not like it. They thought it should have ended differently. Quite frankly, I thought the ending would be something slightly different. but it did a decent job with what it had. The gameplay is... well, I know people who say that Lightning Returns is very much like Majora's Mask. By the way, this is the Rotten Sea, a little area that serves no real purpose except some battles and some nice loot. And this is also the last place where you will find a dragon ruler. So if you have not gotten a dragon spear yet, or want another one, this is the last chance you have. Unless you are playing as Harald and haven't gotten through the king's capital yet. However, I'm not going to go through that place. I have to say, yes, Lightning Returns' overall idea is similar to Majora's Mask. The world is going to end in a few days, and you can help people. But overall, I do not think the games are that much alike because, well, the more people you help, the higher the chance that you extend the life of the world. Whereas in Majora's Mask you really only had 3 days, and there is no way to turn the time back in Lightning Returns. Which is really helpful because that was one of my problems in Majora's Mask. To finish the game, I literally had to replay the game a few times at least to finish it. Which really took away the fun of actually replaying the game, because since you literally already replayed it to a certain extent actually, then it just lacked the option to... it just lacked the part of in it that made me want to replay the game. I mean, if I already replayed it just to finish the game the first time around, why would I bother replaying it? Lightning Returns is different because some things really are only available on New Game Plus. Oops, I think I should have run there. Which does keep the element of the desire of wanting to replay the game in it. I'm doing a second playthrough, and I'm sure I will have to do a third playthrough just to finish some side quests which I either failed in my current playthroughs, or I cannot finish them until I am on a New Game Plus. And we're actually at the end of the video. I apologize for the talk about Lightning Returns, but it is a good game. It improves on Final Fantasy XIII too, that's for sure, but given how disappointed I was of Final Fantasy XIII 2, Lightning Returns did not have that much of a problem in improving there. It already improved simply by not having Sarah the main character. Anyway, as I said, this is the end of the video for today. We can choose to return, and if we enter the Tufton Mountain again, we can choose to start at the bottom or restart from here. Or we're just gonna wait here and we can proceed immediately. Next time, I will fight Buni. See you next time!